Hi, I'm Jane Perrica from Melville High School, and my workshop is how to run a convention or host a convention. And for a lot of you, you're already like, I can't do that. My school's too small, or I don't have enough kids. You can do it. You absolutely can run a convention. And I will say, in my experience, 25 years as a STUCO advisor, we have hosted 2 state conventions and 4 district conventions. And honestly, you can do it. The best benefit that comes out of it is how close your council gets to be. But I guess what I need to talk to you about is, what is the process? What does it look like to host a convention? So first, obviously, you have to campaign. So you have to run for that spot. When you run, you need to tell people why you're the best school to host the convention. So what's unique to your school? What do your kids have to offer? I know that we all want to do a cute dance and a cute video. Yes, the video is important. You want to get kids sucked in, but what do you have to offer as a school that's going to make your convention the best? Then obviously you have to campaign. Pick a theme and make sure you choose kids to attend that convention that you're campaigning at, that are going to go out there and talk to other kids. What I always tell my kids, my 6 or 8 kids that I take, is you have to be willing to walk around by yourself and meet people and talk to them, and not just stay in your own little pod of Melville kids, because that's not going to help us win the office that we're running for. Once you win, you're all excited, right? And then the school year starts and you're like, what's next? Terry Johnson is very good about giving you an idea of what you need to do for state convention and all the things that you need to be successful. But before you really talk to her, you kind of need to know what goes into that. So yes, we did some planning over the summer. We talked to our kids and we had brainstorming sessions and we had a theme going into it, but what does that look like? What do decorations look like? What do titles of things look like? What do general sessions look like? And I said to my kids, there were 3 things that I wanted to happen at state convention. Number 1, I wanted high quality all the time. I didn't ever want kids sitting there where they were super bored, or I didn't want to do something just because it was fun. We've all been to those conventions, and it's not a bad thing, but we've been to conventions where it's just all about the school and it's not about learning. Kids should be going to convention to, yes, meet other people, but they should also be going to take something back to their school. That's what it's about, right? We're teaching them how to be good leaders and what can work maybe as an activity that maybe they haven't thought about. So high quality programming all the time. The second thing I tell them is no one should ever be lost. So yes, I have a really big council, but even with 50 kids or 35 kids, you can still pull in help from other places, but no one should be lost. So great signage, kids that are always willing to help people find their way and not just standing and pointing, right? Walking them there and talking to them. So no one should ever be lost. And number 3, you have to have snacks. Kids get hungry, adults get hungry, so we always wanted to make sure that there was an area where kids could just grab a bite, piece of candy, a pretzel, a bottle of water, or something to as they go along their way. So those were always my 3 things to my kids. I will also tell you something that worked for us, and I don't think a lot of schools think about it, is that of course we elect our officers and elect our executive board. But the 2 times we've hosted state convention, I have always chosen to elect separate people to run those committees. So my convention chairs were not my president and vice president. And we did that really for the reason of, we have a ton of things that we do at our school, which I'm sure most of you do. So student council runs so many things in your buildings that if those kids are then pulled away to run the convention, then your activities that you do on a normal year aren't getting done to the best ability of those kids, and you're stretching those kids super thin. So what I would say, and what worked for us, is that we told our kids up front, if you're gonna be president, yes, of course you're gonna help with convention, but your main focus is to run our own activities that we run every year. If you're gonna be convention chair, then your focus for the school year is convention chair, because you start in the summer with that planning phase, and you start building that up until we have state convention in March. So we do pick separate committee chairs, separate from our officers. Now, I do spread my officers out within those committees, or they become my floater kids because they're already in those leadership roles. And so they know if I say I need X, Y, and Z, that I can grab them and put them in those places. So that's just one tip. Again, it's not something you have to do, it's just something that's worked for us. So that planning phase is huge. Again, Terry Johnson will give you an idea of committees. Again, I have a large council, so we had lots of committees, but it worked for us because then we had kids broken down into smaller parts that they were just really responsible for those things. And I will tell you that decorations took up a lot of our time. But again, we had a committee that designed all of our decorations, and then we had accountability. Like, they had to put in so many hours, and that's just kind of dependent on how much you want to decorate and how much you think is necessary. But to be a good member in good standing, they had to put in so many hours. Like I've said a little bit earlier, if you have a small council, you need to pull some other kids in. Maybe you pull in your NHS kids, maybe you pull in your FFA kids, maybe you pull in your football players, but pull those other kids that are involved in things and really like being at school and being involved in activities, and have a decoration day on a Saturday or a Sunday, and pull those groups of kids in to help you. Your decoration committee could already have set out all the things that they need done, and you just need those worker bees to help you do that. Another thing that our district let us do, we obviously start convention on a Thursday, so we were allowed on Wednesday after school to start decorating our building. And then we had the majority of it done before we hit Thursday, and then Thursday at 4 o'clock, we didn't have to worry about when school gets out at 2 that we're running around like crazy people to try to get everything hung up. And our students honestly did not bother the decorations. We hung it up, kids thought it was really cool. They hadn't ever seen the school decorated to that extent before, and so they really didn't bother it. So that was another really big plus for us. I would also say make sure you're putting kids in the right places, right? You have different committees that do different things, so just use those strengths of the kids you have. In addition to asking for help from other kids, ask for help from other teachers. You can't do it on your own. I'm lucky enough to have a co-advisor, but both times that we hosted state, I had 4 main adults working with me, my co-advisor and 2 other people, and I knew that I could trust them for anything. You need help. Don't try to do it on your own, and there will be people in your building more than willing to help you. Our cafeteria staff loved being there working with the kids. Our custodial staff, and you know, a lot of times they're like, yeah, I don't want to work that after school event. They wanted to be there because the atmosphere in our building was so awesome. So ask, and people will step up to help. The other group of people to ask is your parents. We had multiple parent meetings. We started having meetings the year that we ran. So when we ran for president, we pulled in the parents and said, hey, this is what this looks like. This is what we're doing, because parents don't know, because most of your kids don't know. They may have been to a district convention before, but they have not probably been to state, since you could only take a limited number of people. So sometimes the kids don't know what to tell their parents. So we showed them some videos from the website and just described to them things that we needed. And then that year, working up towards the state convention, we pulled them in and had several meetings with them along the way. And then we put some parents in charge of hospitality room for advisors, and they brought in food, and we had parents helping in the cafeteria when we had meals. So you can use those parents in a variety of places. We had them helping with registration. We had them helping guide people around the building. So use your parents too, because they are a great resource. And then it comes down to hosting. So when you host that convention, it's really all the preparation leading up to it. And once that Thursday hits and it's 4 o'clock and your gym is packed with kids and kids are moving in the building, and 7 o'clock hits, and I have chills talking about it, and your MCs are up there leading the convention, it just takes on a mind of its own. It basically runs itself from there on out, because you've planned so much and so hard leading up to it that it's going to be great. We do use a great production company, Paradise Productions, and I would hope that Jack and his crew would be around for a long time, but that is a lifesaver as well. And one big plus with using them is they are great with your kids, and kids that are interested in that production side, Jack and his crew will work with them and basically teach them how to do all the things that they do. So that is a huge, huge part of it too. Use your facility space. Nothing is out of reach. I reached for the stars the 2 times that I hosted convention, and honestly, your kids will step up and they will do what you are asking of them, because they feel it. And there is no greater feeling, I'm a teal, there's no greater feeling than that last day when you're on stage taking a picture with your kids and they're exhausted and you're exhausted, but you are so incredibly proud of what they've done. So yes, you can do it. Yes, you could reach out to those of us around the state that have hosted before, and please let me know if you have any questions. There is an overview, like handout of the different committees we had that is also posted if you need to look at that, and my email will be on there. Again, I'm Jane from Melville, and thanks for listening.